How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Apologies for it being such a long time since I've done a video, but it's been freezing, Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff. So obviously I've had some family time. Happy New Year to everyone, and I hope you all had a good Christmas. But we've had some issues with the Skyline. Obviously I've been daily in this car all through the winter. Not recommended, but I did anyway. And we're having some right problems at the minute. Basically, I'll just run through what happened and let you know, get you up to date. I wasn't going to make a video on this because I thought it'd be quite an easy fix. It's just wiring stuff, I thought. So I thought there's no point making a video. It'd be the boringest video in the world. Me playing with electrics. No one likes electrics. But anyway, we have an issue with some kind of a wiring or something like that. As you guys know, if you've been following along for a while, I had the push start ignition on this thing, didn't I? Because I never had a key for the car. So I had to fit like an eBay universal push start ignition where I had two flick switches here. These things down here, where are they? Right, these things. Yeah, look, these I had two of these. So I had one, flick it up, that's the auxiliary, so your first turn of the key, like your first click. And then the second one, which was your ignition, that turned your ignition on, and then you press the button and it starts. That was working fine for what, 6 months the car's been on the road now, isn't it? And I come out the gym, flicked it up, started the car, and then I smelled like a burnt smell. And the engine was still running, but like no radio, no blowers, no basically like auxiliary electronics I had in the car. So I managed to get it home. It still ran, no radio, that's fine, don't need no blowers. And took it all apart and realised that this like flick switch is kaput. So I luckily my boy Julian from Profile Motorsports, who tuned my car, he gave me this spare barrel and key a couple of weeks ago. Just said, you know, he didn't need it. He broke a car for parts, and he knew I needed a barrel really, so he gave me a barrel anyway. So I was messing around with his flick switches. I bought another switch, tried to replace it with a switch, didn't work. Then I thought, oh, I've got the barrel actually, I'll check a barrel on it. Check the barrel on it, and I thought that was all it was, just that switch blown, and the car still will not start. So I don't know, obviously it started before, then something burnt out and it stopped working. Put all the standard barrel back on, but now it turns over. I did a spark test yesterday, pulled a plug out, put it in the coil pack, you know, earthed it, seen if it's got a spark. We had a spark. The fuel, I've not done a pressure test, but when you turn the ignition on, you can hear the line go into the fuel rail, has pressure. So we've got fuel. I also pulled the spark plugs out, give them another clean, because you know they get clogged up because we're still not fully tuned yet. We're running a bit rich. And yeah, that's what we're at the minute, basically. The car's got spark, it's got fuel. It turns over and still will not start. So I'm assuming it's some kind of electrical issue, or down here something. When it smelled burnt, I was hoping it was just that switch that like melted. I don't know, or it's something that's melted behind the dash, a YSC or something like that that's melted, or something else is gone wrong that I don't know yet. Obviously I'm a bit of a noob I'm not a mechanic. Obviously I just wing it and do my own thing. So what I'm going to do today is I have got a compression testing device. Obviously I just want to rule out compression, because it can only be a couple of things, can't it really? It can be electrical fault, it's either air, fuel, spark, compression, and that's pretty much it really for all the ingredients you need to start the car. So yeah, I'm going to do a compression test now, take the spark plugs out again, and hopefully we're all good. Let's have a go. Okay, right, anyway, this is where we're at. I've just chucked the battery in because the battery went a bit flat for me trying to start it all yesterday. So I've got a full charge on the battery, just wanged it in the boot. And this is where we're at. Turn the ignition on. Ignition. Mobilizer. Here we go. This is a car, hopefully, well, you never know, it might start. But what you can hear in the back, something knocking. There's like a knocking in the back for some reason. I think I might have to whip the fuel pump out. But what I am going to do first though is what I was planned, the compression test, just to rule that out, because obviously that's the major. Your engine's foobarred basically if that's all out. So do a compressions test, and then I'll whip the fuel pump out after and check everything's all right in there. Because it does sound like something's not right in the boot, but I want to do a compression test anyway, so let's get it done. Okay, get the coil packs out, do one spark plug at a time, pull one out, stick the thing in, stick this little gauge thing in. Basically, I believe anything over 100 psi with a petrol engine should be about right. Around about 100, between 100 and 120, as long as there's like a 10% on all of them. Like there's no more than 10% on each cylinder. But anyways, just stick it in and have a look, see what it says. Right. Number one, I don't know how tight you've got to do that. I've done it as tight as I can get it, like by hand. Obviously, obviously it's got to get so no air comes out. So I've done it tight as I can by hand. I'll see what it says. Right, let's do this. Number one test. Look, see what he's saying. Yeah, 100, almost 150 in the green. So 150, we'll do all five. If they're all 150, as you can hear, we're definitely getting fuel. Turn it back off because battery going flat. Yeah, let's try the other five. 150, sounds good. Right, number two, here we go. I know this is not that riveting, but come on. Don't know how many turnovers you do, but just doing about 3 or 4. What we saying here? Bit lower than 150, but it might just be I've not tightened this up as much as I should have. I'll tell you what, let's try it again with a couple extra turns. Let's try it. Saying car. Yeah, so that one's a bit lower, but we're still in the green, so I'm going to try the others, see what it says. Right, number 3. God's sake, come on. What are you saying? Well, that's a bit concerning. See, this gauge is questioning me now. It's making me think to myself, is that tight enough? What am I trying to do? Tighten it up with some pliers. Because that's 100. That's like 50 psi lower than the first one we did. Let me tighten that with some pliers and then have another go. Hopefully we've not got a broken engine. Right, I tightened it up a bit. Oh, come on, don't be low. Just above 100. I seem to be getting lower and lower the further back I go. Is it because the battery's dying? But yeah, I tightened it up. All you can really do is just stick a spanner on this bit and tighten it, but it's not great. Unless I'm being a mop. I'll get this off. do the next one. Right, number 4 is it? I don't know, I'm losing count. Hopefully, alright. 4, what are you saying? I did this a bit tighter, this one, so should, oh, that's better, isn't it? What is that? Focus. Focus. Just below 150 like the first one. If it actually focused you'd see, but yeah. It's below 150 and I did that one quite tight. So I'm going to do the other 2 and I'm going to go back to the ones that are low and tighten them up the way I did with the spanner then. And hopefully they're just under 150 as well. Fingers crossed. Okay, number 5. Number 5. What are you saying? Looks good. Yeah, just under 150. Like the other 3. So far we got 150 out of 3, and then like a dodgy 2 and 3. So we'll just do the last one and then go back to the 2 and 3. Right, last one. Well, not the last one. We're gonna go back and do 2 and 3 again, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean. There was a strange knocking though in that boot. Fuel pump's next. Well, see if we haven't got, oh god. Shite. Shite. That is concerning. Let me try and tighten it up. Right, looks like we got a fucked engine. That is like 80 psi on cylinder 6, which is annoying. So yeah, I'm assuming the engine's fucked. Why? Why? I mean, I've tightened up as much as I can at the back there. Surely it can't be letting any compression out. I'll try and do it a bit tighter and do it again, but it ain't looking good, guys. I'm gonna buy a Skyline, 20 quid. Well, that's a shit sandwich, isn't it? I just tightened up again a bit more, and it's still 80 psi on the 6 cylinder. 2 and 3 were questionable. They were still in the they were still like 100, weren't they? But yeah, number 6 is like 80. I don't know what that means. Probably I'll have a little Google. Sure you guys would tell me, but I'm pretty sure it means that your engine's fact. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Have a Google and see what it's saying. Right, I've tried tightening it up again. It's still a bit wobbly, but it only still goes up to 80. Just spoke to my mate Mark down the road, you know, he's out with me loads of times before. He said you could do with just spraying some WD-40 down the spark plug hole, letting it sit for a minute and then redoing it. It's apparently like your rings kind of, I don't know, get like stuck. And also the battery, he said, make sure you've got a full battery when you're doing it. Which I've just charged a battery, but obviously I've done 6. Might have gone a bit weak, so I'll put the booster on as well as doing that. But first I'll wang it out, put some WD-40 down there, chuck that back in, put the booster pack back on, and please just go up. But before I do that, I will do 2 and 3 again, so I want to check them properly. Right, we're at 100. All I did was squirt some WD-40 down there, and then I wang the booster on the battery. Now it went up 20 psi, which is a bit of a strange one. Odd indeed. So we've gone up 20. Still ain't great, it still ain't 150, I prefer that. Let's try it again. Might stick some more WD-40 down. don't know what I don't know how that's doing anything, but see the gauge from here. Sounds like it's dying a bit now. I don't think it went back down to 80. Yeah, it did. I think it's a battery. Yeah, I squirted some more WD-40 down it, wanged it back on and made 100 again. So it's better. It's not 80. So I'm going to do the rest of them again. Squirt some WD-40 down the others as well, which is a wet test apparently, and then see what it all looks like. We're at 100 on the 6th now, which is better. The other three were good, wasn't it? And then the other 2 and 3 were shocking. So 6 and WD-40 down there, and hopefully that's it. That's all we can really do other than rebuild the engine. Also, I need to check my timing, which is not easy. Which is basically taking the whole front of the engine apart, taking all these covers off, which is not what I want to do, but a timer might well be out. I might have skipped timing when I've been trying to when I started it, when I was messing around with the button, I was hot wiring it basically with that flick switch, that push start button I had, just by connecting the connectors together. And when it actually did start, before it stopped working, it started but it was lumpy, it sounded dodgy, so I turned it off obviously. But that one or two starts that I did when it sounded like crap may have had the timing skip, so we need to check the timing as well. Well, if you've got no compression anyway, you know, rubbish compression, the engine's got to come out anyway, so what's the difference in checking the timing? I've got to take all this off anyway, so you know, it's good times. And it's also just started snowing and it's for a reason. But yeah, check the timing. Good. Well, I'll just check 2 again, and we're at, what's that, 130-ish? Which is higher than last time. I'm sure it is, I can't remember, I should have written down what I got. But that's better. So I'm going to do 3, because that was a bit low as well, wasn't it? I know the first one was 150, that's 130, which still ain't great, but we'll do the third one and see what that was again. Okay, number 3, let's do it. So we've got 150 on number 1, 130 on number 2. That's it from here, come on. What is that? No, rubbish. Must be too loose. So I did it a minute ago and it was 130. And I sprayed some WD-40 down there so you can get it up a bit higher, and it went down to like 90, so that was obviously wrong, isn't it? Right, so let's coil packs and spark plugs back in. I'm going to try and start it, why not? Before I start doing all this time and all that. I don't know if I'm going to do a time right now because I've got to go out in a bit, but it will happen. Imagine it just starts now and runs perfectly. Absolutely not. It's broke still. Probably because we've got low compression. God's sake. Right, I'm going to put my stuff away. I'll continue this video on tomorrow because, well actually no, later on today, because I'm going to go out for a meal, come back, start ripping all the front of this car apart and check the timing out. Good times. Rebuild a whole entire engine, it lasts 6 months and then you've got to rebuild it again. Skyline life, JDM life, I don't know.